So what is going on, my YouTube family? We are out here today on the 2025 Pan America CVO, or CVO Pan America. I think they call it the CVO Pan America, honestly. And I don't ride this bike very often. The reason for that is I have trouble getting on it. Don't you judge me. But today we're out here on this bike. I just rode it over here, did Speedway Harley-Davidson's review on it, and I am quite impressed. So let's take a look at this thing, go over the specs, and get back on the road.
Infinit Ryda.
All right, so the CVO Pan America comes with the Revolution Max 1250 motor that's putting out 150 horsepower and 95 foot-pounds of torque. You're going to get a running weight of 659 pounds. This bike's going to have a seat height of 30.4 inches. You're going to get a fuel capacity of 5.6 gallons that's going to get you 47 miles per gallon. This baby's going to give you a storage capacity of 120 liters in these hard cases, which actually have to stay locked, so all your items will stay secured. You're going to get 47 millimeter inverted front forks, which are electronically adjustable. In the rear, you're going to get linkage mounted mono shocks with automatic adjustable preload, so the rear is going to be adjustable for you as well. And this bike is going to come with ABS, traction control, drag torque slip, vehicle hold control, tire pressure monitoring system, which all the motorcycles come with that now, enhanced cornering ABS with lean angle sensing. I mean, this bike has every safety thing you could think of to keep you safe while you're riding. So it's extremely windy out here and my hat just blew off. So we about to hop on this bike and get back up to Speedway Harley-Davidson for I blow away, which I doubt I do with my big ass. All right, we are all mounted up and we are going to start off today in rain mode. You are greeted to this absolutely beautiful display, which is telling you that you're on a CVO. Let's jump over into rain mode. You got some different modes here, of course. You've got rain mode, road mode, sport mode, off-road mode, and then you're going to get some custom modes. You're going to get all your controls located here. This baby has heated grips, cruise control. You've got your options to control everything on your display, your turn signals, your home button, your menu button, which brings up this beautiful menu that is very animated. We're going to start in home. And then over here, you've got your kill switch, your run switch, your mode button, your hazards, your controls for your music, traction control option, and your voice assistant. Let's get this baby cranked up because it is extremely windy out here today. All right, and we are off. All right, so this is going to be, well, let me make this turn. So starting off here in rain mode is going to be that mode that's, as I say in all my videos, the dual purpose mode. It's going to serve two purposes. It wasn't originally designed for two purposes, but I suggest everyone uses it that way. It's great for newer riders who are not that comfortable with their throttle and throttle control, because then it lets those newer riders get on something that they can grow with and get on a bike that they could keep long term, because it is going to basically tone down your throttle response, so that way you don't whiskey throttle the bike when you're a newer rider. And that's a lot of the issues a lot of times with newer riders, is they are not extremely comfortable with their throttle and that throttle control. Well, this is going to give you the option to get used to your throttle. And yes, I'm all over the place. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. So it's also great for wet roads. When the road is wet and you hit that throttle, it's going to make sure that that rear tire does not spin and you end up somewhere you don't want to be. So definitely use rain mode. It's a great mode that they added onto these motorcycles, and it does what it's supposed to do. Like right now, I'm twisting the throttle and I'm not getting a whole lot out of it. I mean, I am in fourth gear, but typically you'd get a lot more than what I'm getting right now out of this throttle. So newer riders, use that rain mode. And if you're in the rain, use that rain mode. We're going to jump over into road mode because we're about to hop over here on the road. All right, listen to that weak growl. I really wish there was
No such thing as all these emissions control, because these bikes sound amazing when you put an aftermarket exhaust on it. But with that stock exhaust, it just does not do the bike any justice whatsoever. It literally sounds, it just doesn't sound great. I'll just leave it at that. I typically don't ride the Pan America. I do love that Pan America ST, but when it comes to getting on like this one with the bags and everything on the back, it's a little bit different, because it's difficult for me to get on because of the way I get on the motorcycle. And I found a new way to get on today, and I think it works. So hey, might be able to ride these a little bit more often. You do got this beautiful adjustable windshield here too, that you can raise up and down whenever need be, so that way you can block some of that wind. And with it being an extremely windy day today, I do have that windshield all the way up. But just by using this here, you can hit that, you can lower it just like that. But I don't want it lowered, I want it up because it's windy today. Now we are in road mode. Road mode is going to give you what this bike offers. This is the road most people are going to spend the majority of their time in, and it is the most logical road to ride in unless you want to get in trouble and spend all your time in sport mode. So when you're in road mode and you twist that throttle, you're going to get what that 1250 wants to give you. All right, let's see here. There we go. All right, that felt good. That is a solid acceleration out of this motorcycle. Now sport mode is going to give you a whole hell of a lot more. Now I'm 6 feet tall, 230 pounds, and I am extremely comfortable on this motorcycle. My legs don't feel cramped up. They're directly below me, but there is plenty of room there, and the handlebars are a little lower than I would like, but for an adventure motorcycle, I feel like they are in the perfect spot to give me complete control over this bike. So there's no real adjustments that you need to make to the CVO, and there's no adjustments I would suggest making to a CVO anyway. The only thing I would say do is throw an exhaust on here, because the exhaust sounds like shit. I do love that digital display. I can see it crystal clear in this bright sunlight, and the sun is directly behind me, beaming right on that display, and I can see it clear as day. So it's very vivid. The cool part about this bike is when you stop, because it has the adaptive ride height, it lowers down some, so you're going to be able to flat foot this bike. Like I'm flat footing it, I mean, let alone I am 6 feet tall. But once you start riding, you feel the bike lift up a little bit, and when you stop, it does lower back down, which I love. This motorcycle has plenty of lighting up front as well, so you won't have any issues whatsoever when you're off-roading this bike, or if you're actually riding at night. You're going to be able to see the road, see that dirt road, see whatever's in front of you, so that way while you're out there riding, you're good to go. Another thing is, while I'm not a fan of the look of these bags on this bike, because they're like perfectly square, but I guess that's what adventure riders ride with. I've seen a lot of other adventure bikes, and the bags or boxes or whatever you want to call lunch boxes that are on these things, they are completely square. This side wind ain't playing either. These crosswinds, they are hitting me, but this bike ain't moving. But those, well, it moved that time. But those lunch boxes on the back, they're not very stylish, but they are functional. You can store quite a bit in those things, and they are required to be locked. Like I tried to close it and not lock it, and it just wouldn't close all the way. So they're going to be secure, so that way you won't have any randoms just rambling through your bags back there while you're storing things like your camera gear or your water bottles, or a lot of people who ride, we're not going to go down that road, or your drone or any of your camping gear. You'll be able to make sure that those things are secured in those bags. Now, as far as the suspension, this road I'm on is quite bumpy. I am not feeling any of it. I'm not feeling any of those imperfections. This is a solid suspension on the CVO Pan America. This is probably one of the only motorcycles that I will say, do not touch your suspension, just roll with it. This suspension is right where it needs to be. It is perfect. It has the perfect amount of dampening, but you still feel connected to the road. Hey, look at what we got there. Hey there, fella on a bicycle. He was on a bicycle and I gave him a wave. So, you know, 2 wheels is 2 wheels, baby. 2 wheels is 2 wheels. All right, so we're turning right here. All right, we're gonna jump her on over into sporty mode so we can see what this girl can do. We're in second gear. We're gonna bust this corner right here. You can tell when you've entered sport mode, that throttle's gonna be a little bit more twitchy, and it ain't for the faint of hearts, I will say that, but this bike definitely will move. It is a quick motorcycle. I feel like they did a great job this year with the offerings under the adventure lineup, like the Pan America, the Pan America ST. These are some bikes that I did not initially think would be as good as they are, especially coming from Harley-Davidson. Harley-Davidson is dabbling in the adventure lineup, which, you know, they're cruisers and baggers, but they made one of the best adventure bikes they make. So let's see what this girl can do. Oh yeah, woo, that girl will move. This is a quick motorcycle that you can have a tremendous amount of fun on. So it's great for multi-purposes. Like if you want to do a road trip, you can do that. If you want to just get out here and ride the bike and cruise, you can do that. Back and forth to work, you can do that. You want to take it off road, you can do that. Anything you want to do on this bike, you can do. But you know me, I ain't going off road. I'm strictly street riding. So if I was to look at one of the models in the Pan America lineup, it 100% would be probably the Pan Am ST. That would be the one I would pick up. The CVO is one hell of a motorcycle, but I feel like this is not the one you're going to want to go throwing off road and busting through trees and scratching up your paint job and all that. You don't want to do that on a CVO, at least in my opinion. I would not suggest that. So if you're going to do stuff like that, if you're going to really be hard on your bike, just pick up the Pan America Special. If you're going to be off-roading and everything, if you want to ride it sporty, pick up the Pan America ST. Now I'm still going to, let me throw it back in road mode. I had my fun for today. Now I'm still going to give you, on a scale of 1 to 10, how likely I would put this motorcycle in my garage. And with it being the CVO Pan America, I'd probably say right around a 6. And the reason for that is I'm not a fan of the lunch boxes that are on the back of it. Even though there are some really nice lunch boxes, getting on and off the bike is a little bit different for me. For a lot of people, it's not challenging at all. You know, maybe once I develop a skill of getting on and off this bike every single day, I wouldn't hit my shin on the lunch boxes as much. Also, I don't ride the way this bike is meant to ride. I do not do any type of off-roading. Now, there may be a point in my life at which I do want to do that. I mean, I off-road my little mini bike, but that's totally different. That's just busting through people's grass. There may be a point at where I would want to do something like that, and I feel like this would be a great bike, but not for taking it all off-road. You don't want to do that with a CVO. This is Harley-Davidson's premium offering. You want to baby this baby. You really do. You want to make sure it stays in mint condition so it'll hold its value. You don't want to be busting this thing all through the trees and stuff like that. But if you're looking for a bike that's going to grab attention when you go out and ride it, or just an amazing riding bike and you don't plan on taking it in the woods, this is an excellent option. But I want y'all to comment down below. On a scale of 1 to 10, how likely would you pick up a CVO Pan America? Looks like I got some photos to take whenever there's a bike sitting right there. That's my office right there. I got to take pictures of it. So I'm going to pull this baby back into the dealership, come out here and get some photos of that. I think that was a Road King. But make sure you're subscribed to the channel. The 2026 models will be rolling out soon. And I'm going to make sure that I review every single one of those for y'all. So subscribe, like, comment, do all the good stuff. And I'll see you in the next one.